Hello, it's Leanne Peters here, and I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook, and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to bring through some guidance for this week ahead. That's starting today. Well, it's today for me anyway, maybe for you too, on Monday the 12th of October through till Sunday the 18th of October. So I'm going to look closely at this week. I'm going to continue with what I've been doing the last 2 weeks, which is looking at this more intuitively. As I've said, both last week and the week before, I'm not sure if this is a new way that's going to remain or whether I'm going back to the previous way of doing the guidance, which is pulling cards on a board, a card for each day. But this way feels right now, so I'm going to trust it. So thank you so much. Extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light family, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. If you're new to watching, welcome. What I'm going to be doing is using my combined Animal Kingdom Oracle cards with my Speed of Light Oracle, and I'll be using this combined deck to find the best cards for this week ahead. I'm going to lay them out intuitively though, so it's going to be basically me doing a reading for the week, which works. I've been doing it. I haven't been doing weekly guidance this way. Actually, I used to years ago, maybe about 8 years ago, I used to do intuitive guidance for the month. But that just seems like forever now. A whole month it seems to be like a year or 6 months. What used to feel like 6 months. So things are really speeding up quickly. So yeah, I've been working and doing intuitive readings for a very long time, over 20 years. So this is not new for me. It's just a different way of doing the weekly guidance. So just think of this as a guide only. Just allow what speaks to you and what resonates with you at this time to speak to you and to stand out and you know, work with that stuff that does resonate and does speak to you. If it doesn't make sense today, if it doesn't resonate with you, if some things said just don't ring any bells for you at all, then that's okay. Just let it go. It's most likely guidance for somebody else. So just take on board what feels right, let the rest go, and let's see what we're going to do today. So just a quick recap while I'm shuffling on last week. In fact, the last 2 weeks we've had the exact same theme, which was the giraffe card, which says to look at things differently. There has been a massive shift in perspective, perception, viewpoint, and I don't know if it's necessarily over yet. I don't know if we've come out the other side individually with clarity yet. I feel like there's been a lot of tests to our beliefs, our truth, our viewpoints, our opinions, and there's also seems to be a lot of opinions, very sharp opinions flying, very potent, sharp opinions. And, you know, we're seeing it playing out in some of the leaders in the world. We're seeing it play out in our community, family dynamics, and also in our closer relationships as well. So we're probably finding that perspective and how we're viewing things is really under the spotlight right now. But it kind of feels to me that we're not really clear. We haven't really found the clarity yet. So I do feel it kind of continues. So I'm shuffling the cards and I'm asking the cards to show us what we need to know for this week ahead. That's starting Monday the 12th to the 18th of October. I dropped some cards. I'm just going to pick them up. And I'm going to lay these out intuitively. So I'm not laying them out in any order except for what I feel in my and see in my mind's eye. And so I close my eyes and I ask the cards how they want to be laid out. And I see a picture or a letter or a number or a shape of some sort, which I trust. And it changes. So as I shuffle more, that image that I see in my mind actually starts shifting. So then I lay the cards out face down. Okay, and we'll see what these cards are. Ah, interesting. Okay, we have no featured cards this week, but we're starting the week with the doe. The doe is card 41 and it says to feel deeply. This is really interesting, actually, starting the week, because there is this deep, I've just finished writing the current energy report. The energy is really quite interesting at the moment. There is this, what I'm feeling is a potential drop in confidence, a potential doubt that wants to creep in, and this sense of being careful that we don't read too much into things or blow things out of proportion or take things too personally at this time, because I feel our self-doubt will probably is wanting to sort of start coming in and basically take our feet out from under us. So a lot of us have been establishing a newfound sense of confidence and belief, self-belief, that is, it's like the carpet wants to be pulled out from under us, and that's what our doubt will do. So we have to be really attentive as we start the week this week, that we are not allowing ourselves to go backwards, to fall into out of our confidence, to fall into doubt, to start second guessing ourselves, to start comparing ourselves to other people and feeling ourselves not really that competent or that skilled at something. Maybe we're interacting with someone who's extremely competent, and then it just makes us feel quite small and quite inferior, I guess we could say. So I feel like we have to be really careful starting the week this week and make sure that we're really looking at things and giving attention to the things that are supportive and the things that are healthy. So we're starting the week with the doe, that's reminding us to really feel deeply, to stay really attentive and alert. And the doe here has got really big ears, so it's reminding us to listen and be alert and be attentive as we start the week, as we feel deeply and allow, just to keep perspective here. Let's not lose all the hard work we've been working on in the last weeks and months to flatten ourselves again or to drop our confidence again. So let's continue to prop ourselves up and really look at what's affecting us and what we might need to do about it. Now, as we move into Tuesday, we're being encouraged to be patient and persistent, that there is a solution that's available and a solution that's coming into our awareness. So if you're feeling like there's a problem in your life and you're looking for a solution or you're looking for a way through it, then you're being encouraged to be patient and be persistent and keep reassuring yourself that a solution is coming. In fact, there's probably a solution already here. It's just a matter of being able to see it or being able to sense it. So what if there is actually a solution to the problem that you're facing that's just around the corner? It's just behind that fear. It's just behind that self-doubt that's starting to come in. It's just behind that thing that we may be seeing quite loudly right now. So let's be patient, especially patient with ourselves. This is especially feeling strongly for Tuesday. And then as we flow into Wednesday, so I feel we're going straight ahead, Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday potentially. That's if we can stay focused, stay attentive and catch ourselves before we fall. So before we fall, before the rug gets pulled out from under us with our self-doubt and our lacking self-belief, we're being encouraged to make sure we keep ourselves propped upright. So if we can do that, I feel that we're going to be moving full steam ahead. So there's a forward momentum movement that's coming forward, especially for Monday, Tuesday and into Wednesday. And then it will shift, but I'll talk more about that. So Wednesday, this is for Wednesday, the 14th of October, and we have card 1, Archangel Michael. And this card says truth, protection, boundaries and courage. There's this, I feel really drawn to the word brave at the moment. I love the word. It just feels good. It sounds good. So brave, courage, these things are calling for us not only on Wednesday, but as we're moving into Wednesday and just all around at this time. So what do we need to find courage to do? Do we need to find courage to move out of our comfort zone, to start something new, to end something in our life, to stand up for ourselves? What do you need to be brave with? Is there something that you're facing in your life that you're not really keen to go through with, but it's something you have to do? then you might have to summon your bravery, your courage to face this part of your life or this thing that's coming up that's a little bit difficult to face. So I do feel this summoning of bravery, this summoning of courage, of a strength to come through on Wednesday. And we're being encouraged to really look at our boundaries. So where are we letting our boundaries slip? Where has there been a bit of a mudslide around us and our boundary fence has just been washed away? Where are we letting other people in who may not have our best interests at heart? Where are we giving our power away to? And how can we re-secure our boundaries on Wednesday? So if we've been giving a lot of attention to the chaos in the world and to the viewpoints and opinions and just this really sharp energy that's coming through, if we've been giving our attention to that and we've been pulled in, because that's what happens when we give it our attention, then this thing that we're focusing on is taking our power away. And it's like a landslip has happened around us and our boundary fence has just slid away. So if you notice that you're giving your power away, you may need to rein it in, bring your focus towards yourself. So turn your focus inward and look at where do you need to rebuild your boundaries. If your boundaries were a fence around you, you know, about what you will and what you won't accept in your life, so you're not pulled down to low levels, then, you know, re-strengthen those boundaries. And this may be something really important for us to consider and take action on Wednesday. Now, as we then move from Wednesday, the energy turns. So we're going from a forward-focused Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday into, it feels like a little bit of a side path. There might be something that's potentially distracting us or something that needs our attention that's a little bit off track. And this is not necessarily a bad thing. You know, if we're getting distracted because we're starting to feel more doubtful about ourselves or our self-belief is dropping, we're starting to feel overwhelmed and we're just getting distracted by all of this drama in the world, then that may not be a great thing. So let's just make sure as we move from Wednesday into Thursday, so Wednesday, Thursday overlapping, that's the 14th, 15th of October, let's make sure that we're staying focused on what we need to do and what is best and most important for us. What I like to say is I remind myself to tend to the nest. And tend to the nest is like a really nurturing, supportive, beautiful way, in my opinion, of looking at focusing on what's important to me. So what is important to you over Wednesday and Thursday, and how can you focus on it? If you're focusing on things that are just taking your power away, things that are drama-filled, then that might require some bringing yourself back into focus. So you're not being distracted by all the drama out there, but you're focusing on what's important to you. What is important to you? What are your priorities? Now, if you've got something coming up that you're worried about, like a health test, or you have to spend some time connected with health in hospital or what have you, which happens sometimes, or you're dealing with something that you're waiting on results for, or you're waiting for more information on, what I try and like to do is remind myself to just focus on the facts. If I don't have the facts, or if I don't have information from the experts yet, then I'll just focus on other things as best as I can. So I try and deal with the facts when they come up rather than jump to conclusions or assume the worst. So just be careful you're not being distracted by your assumptions or you're assuming the worst in situations, and wait till you have the facts. Act on the facts. And if you need to remind yourself of that, please do if it resonates, because I find it really helpful. When my daughter she had a car accident last year and we're in emergency, and I was waiting for her to come to the hospital from the ambulance, and, you know, I was trying not to panic because I wanted to stay strong, and I just wanted to wait to make sure I had all the information before I lost it. You know, there were words come back, oh, she's got this long gash on her head, and I'm like, oh my God, that's got to be bad. But I had to just wait until I had the facts, and it ended up being, maybe that big. So I think sometimes we jump to conclusions, we get into panic mode, we worry about the future, but let's just wait for the facts. Let's wait for the facts. And if we don't have them, no news is good news as far as I'm concerned. So let's focus on things that nurture us and that feel good for us. So as we move into Thursday, there is a potential shift of direction. So it might be a shift of attention like I've been talking about, but it may also be a shift of direction for us where something clicks and we feel maybe a little bit more sure about our path and sure about ourselves. We've been encouraged on Thursday to take or consider taking a mental break. This feels appropriate for Thursday and Friday, so the 15th and 16th of October. We may need to back things off a little bit so we're not putting too much pressure on ourselves mentally. So a mental break and this energy of floating. So when we take a mental break, what I like to do when I'm taking a mental break, yeah, sure, I take them around my everyday surroundings. So I might go into the garden or I might do something like that. But what I found really important when I'm feeling particularly stressed out or particularly distracted by waiting for results or the drama in the world or the drama around me, I actually step out. A great thing to do is for me to visit my 95-year-old grandmother, because there is no better wake-up call or perspective shift than spending some time with her and what she's going through. Stepping out into nature, going somewhere, going out of our everyday setting, I found a great way to give us a mental break, but also a perspective shift. You know, so that we can see something that we might be seeing as problematic in our life as maybe not that big of a deal as we thought. So it's just, if you need a mental break, if things are piling up, then maybe Thursday, Friday, you might be inspired to step out to get a mental break and let the mental break and your new environment that you go into for however long you need to, let that help shift your perspective and help you see things, your life or your problematic areas from a new perspective. And then Friday and over the weekend, we have the Sea Eagle, which is about reconnection. So this is reconnecting with spirit. It's about reconnecting with what is important to us in our life. Now, the drama, the chaos that's happening, you know, around the world, in our communities, in our families, maybe even in our home space, these are distractions. They're distracting us from ourselves and what is important for us to focus on. So it feels like Friday and into the weekend that we've been encouraged in this favourable energy for reconnection, reconnecting with what is important to us. Now, it's come up a couple of times, so I'm going to bring it up again. Let's look at our priorities this week. And we may find with our recent perspective shifts and the kind of stuff that we're observing over these last few weeks, we may find that our priorities are changing. So what I find is really helpful is about once a month to sit down and write what my current priorities are. What feels really important to me at this stage in my life? And am I devoting enough time to that? Am I being distracted by other things that just do not require my attention? Am I worrying about what's going on over here? Am I worrying about what this person's doing? And stressing about things that are just not important to us. I've observed quite a few people around me in my extended family panicking and worrying and stressing about other adults, whether they have everything they need, whether they're warm enough, whether they're still hungry. These people are adults. And surely we can trust that adults will know what they need to do. These are not our children who need prompting or reminders. These are adults. Can we let adults be adults and stop giving our attention and distracting ourselves with other people's business? Is this a priority for us? Is it healthy for us? I don't know that it really is. So all this stuff distracts us from our own priorities. So what are your priorities? Can you list them down? You might have 2, you might have 10. What are your most important priorities right now? And can you list them from most top priority down. It will change. So just let it be, not what it should be. What should your priorities be? What morally is right? What are your priorities at this time? What feels most important to you? And when you've got your list of priorities down, just have a reflect over them. Just make sure these are healthy priorities to have. If second on your list is to make sure everyone around you is warm, for example, I mean, it's nice to do, but not obsessively, then you can probably ask yourself, does this really need to be on my priorities list? So our priorities as we move into the weekend and this whole week, but reconnecting with what's important to us, and we will only know what that is when we work out what our priorities are. So what are your priorities? What do you want to spend time doing? What do you want to invest your so valuable and important mental attention on? If drama plays no part in your priority list, why give it your attention? So it's just a way of looking at things from a different perspective and honing in on the things that we determine are a priority, which means moving away from the things that are distracting us from those priorities. As we move deeply into the weekend, so deep into Saturday and Sunday, and I love that word, deep. As we move deep into the weekend, we have the shadow card. And this is about shape-shifting, shadow, fear, hidden, what's been hidden, releasing, and also the raven energy. So this is about looking deep in the weekend, looking at our shadow side. We might find something gives rise to our fear or an insecurity within us or an issue that we may find benefit of looking at deeply throughout the deep parts of the weekend. And what I'm feeling when I say deep part of the weekend, it might nearly be new moon time. I'm not really sure, but it would be around this time period. I don't know exactly when it is. But there's kind of that feeling here, no moon, the deep part of the night, like 2 or 3 a.m. on the Sunday morning. The deepest part of the weekend is calling us. And some of us may find that time period is difficult and may be confronting, as we're encouraged to look straight in the eye of our fear, straight in the eye of our insecurities and our shadow side. The great thing about this card is it brings a shift to this. So it actually brings light into those dark times, and those dark spaces within not only the deep, dark places of the weekend, the deep, dark places of the night, but these things represent the deep, dark places within us. So what have you been hiding? What have you been keeping secret? What have you been dealing with privately? And there's nothing wrong with dealing with things privately as long as we're not bottling things up. What have you been scared of? What are you scared of? Use your journal if you're inspired to really look at these things deeply on the weekend. If you're inspired to, it will happen for you. So remember your journal, explore things, write down how you're feeling. What are you scared of? And let's allow things to be. Let's allow things to shift into light. So, I trust that resonates. Let's look for a card now for our theme for this whole week ahead. So our theme card will help bring this energy together and help us see the bigger picture for this week. It's going to govern really the whole week. So what card do we need to know? What's the most helpful for the majority of us for this whole week ahead? Don't forget to come back and reconnect with this video throughout the week if you need a reminder of what's come up, and things will fall into place and make more sense as you progress through your week. If you do want to learn more about me and the work I do at Temple of Balance, please visit templeofbalance.com.au. So the best card for the theme for this week is this here. Comfort, support, card 35, support. It says comfort loved ones, reassurance. This would only come up if we needed support and we needed to be reassured. So that makes me feel that quite maybe for the theme for this week and maybe throughout the week, we're probably going to feel a bit unsupported, a bit low maybe in ourselves, and we might have to keep reassuring ourselves that it's okay, that we're moving through this, that this is going to work out, that we are loved, we're supported. So, magpie. It flew right past me. I don't know if it came into shot, but it's sitting just up here. A great sign of abundance too this week. I wonder if it will break out into song. So abundance through the magpies potentially coming in. But that's, it flew off. But that's making sure that we keep reassuring ourselves that we are loved, we are supported. Let's stop putting ourselves down. Let's stop being so self-critical. Let's stop doubting in our abilities that we know that we're capable of. We've done it before. And let's stop doubting in our skills. Let's stop doubting in ourselves. And let's start reassuring ourselves and supporting ourselves moving forward. The best supporter we will ever find is us. So become your best supporter. Cheer yourself on. Reassure yourself. Find comfort in the things that are working for you. Find comfort in the beautiful people surrounding you. Notice what is there. Notice what support you do have. Instead of honing in on what's not there, what you're lacking, what you're missing, what you feel that you're entitled to. Step up and become your best supporter. So I'll leave that with you. That's our theme card, support. Trust that resonates. Have a great week ahead. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you want to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. If you do want to learn more about the work I do at Temple of Balance, please visit templeofbalance.com.au. I don't think I've really got anything coming up, although by the time this comes up, and by the time you're watching this, I might have the 11/11 Healing Marathon up and going, because I intend to do that now. So I feel a very strong pull this morning to create an 11/11 healing marathon. So keep an eye out for the details of that on my Facebook page, on my website. Yeah, it's going to be pretty powerful. So I'm just getting that together now. I think that's all I really need to say. Have a fantastic week. Happy birthday, happy anniversary if you're celebrating, and I will see you again next week for the weekly guidance. I'll also pop in throughout the week for some support videos and some drawing videos, no doubt. So I will see you when I see you next. Take care, and goodbye for now.